Hey, Nathan here, welcome back to another video for the PGL2D Alpha series, and we're getting very close to the end of the series. There's only one big class we have left to do, and that's going to kind of bring everything together, and that is called the BaseGame class. So let's expand the Solution Explorer here. Right click the game folder and go to Add Class. We're going to call this BaseGame. Now this is going to be a public abstract class. Now this is going to actually be a derivative of Microsoft.xna.framework.game. Okay, let's set up some of the properties here. So this is kind of going to bring everything together that we've coded so far. It's going to have a input system, a screen system, and it kind of bring everything together. So the first thing we want to do is create a sprite batch property. Public sprite batch. Then we need to add using Microsoft.xna.framework.graphics. Sprite batch. Get private set. Next, we need to have a input system. A game will have one input system. Input system is just a way for us to use when we update our input map. Public input system. We need to add using PGL2D.input. Get and private set. Next, we need to have the screen system. Our game is just going to have one screen system, which could have dozens or hundreds of screens if we so want. Protected. Screen system dot screen system. Since the namespace name and the class name is the same, we need to call it like that. So screen system dot screen system, and we're going to call the property screen system. Get private set. Next, we need to have a property to get the viewport, and the viewport is retrieved from the graphics device. So public viewport, and this is going to be an expression bodied property. Graphics device.viewport. The next property is we are going to have a rectangle to hold the dimensions of our window. You know, is it 720p, 1080p? We're going to have dimensions for that. So public dimensions. And then we need to add using Microsoft.xna.framework.graphics. Dimensions. Get and private set. This next property, public vector2. Absolute center. That's going to be the absolute position for our center point. The width divided by 2 and height divided by 2. Where is the center point of our game window? The absolute center. Okay. Microsoft.xna.framework.game. That provides a load content override, or we can override load content. Now I'm going to seal that. Protected, sealed, override, void, load content. Because there's no need to load additional content. The screen system is going to load each individual screen's content itself. So load content, sprite batch, to the new sprite batch, graphics device, screen system dot load screen content. There's no need for derived game classes to load content because the screen system is handling that. Update. That's another thing that game and Microsoft.extended framework.game, that's another thing that we can override. I'm going to seal that as well. Public or protected. Sealed. Override. Void. Update. Game time. We're going to call input system.update and screen system.update. We're going to provide game time here. And base.update. Game time. Okay. So most of everything will be sealed because our screen system is going to take care of it. And then we will have update entity and update screen, or draw entity and draw screens instead of the update and draw method directly. The last thing we want to do is we want to add the draw class, which is another thing we need to override from game. So protected, sealed, override, void, draw. Game time. Graphics device dot clear. Sprite batch dot begin. Screen system dot draw. Game time sprite batch. And sprite batch.end and call base.draw. Game time. Now, probably in the beta or full release of this library, I'm going to stop doing this because there might be some cases where we want to draw in a separate sprite batch. For example, if we need to transform or do anything out of the ordinary other than just the standard begin. So I'm probably going to pull that out of this method and put that in the screen system, each individual screen system. And I might even go a step farther. But that's for a later release. As you see here, we have an error with clear. Now let's go to the very top here and let's create a private field. Private. Read only. Color. Underscore. Background. Color. Alright, let's scroll down to the very bottom and where we have draw. Graphics device.clear. Let's pass in underscore background color. Alright. One more field we want to add is protected. Graphics device manager graphics. Alright, the last thing we need to do for this class is to add the constructor. Protected. Base game. Opening parentheses. Now this is going to accept a width and height. Int width, int height. That way we can say if this is 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720 or whatever we want to have the window be. Int width and int height string content root directory and color background color. So let's create our graphics object. So graphics is equal to new graphics device manager this. Now before the semicolon, let's add opening and closing curly brackets. let's set the preferred back buffer width is equal to width, comma, preferred back buffer height is equal to height. Alright, after the closing curly bracket and the semicolon, let's set up the dimensions. Dimensions is equal to new rectangle 0, 0, width, height. Alright, let's set the absolute center is equal to new vector 2 width divided by 2.0 f, height divided by 2.0 f. So that gets the absolute center position of our window. Content.root directory is equal to content root directory. Input system is equal to new input system. Screen system is equal to new screen system. Screen system.screen system. Underscore background color is equal to background color. And that's it. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's do a brief overview. Alright, let's do a brief overview quick on this. So we have a private field that holds the background color for our game. It's read-only. It's only going to be set once. Next, we have a protected that's accessible in the derived classes that holds the graphics device manager object. We have a constructor that initializes the graphics object and sets the width and height of our game window. Our dimensions are set based on the width and height we provide. The absolute center points to the center width and the center height of our game window. We set the content root directory, and we create new objects for input system and screen system. And then we set the underscore background color to the desired background color we want. For properties, we have a sprite batch, input system, screen system, a viewport which just returns our graphics device.viewport, the dimensions of our window, and the absolute center position. Then we have 3 sealed methods. Loading content. We load the sprite batch, we create a new sprite batch, and then we call screensystem.loadScreenContent. Updating. We seal that. We update our input system and update our screen system. Draw. We seal that. We clear our graphics device by using the underscore background color. We call spritebatch.begin. We draw all screens, and then we call spritebatch.end. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. The next few videos are going to be very short. We have our game screen and 2 extremely short videos to extend the Vector 2 and random. So I hope to see you next time.